Everyone, so it's Coach Fred here, and we are talking about the official College Board Study Guide. It's practice test one, the writing section. I'm going to be going over number 24 and number 26. So let's look at number 24. So if you've watched some of my previous videos, you know that I've said that it's really important for you to identify what you're being tested on. And so you don't want to fall into the trap of saying to yourself, oh, it just doesn't sound right. And so when I look at the questions, I look for certain things. I look for, are they just changing one word and are all the words different? Do I look for punctuation? And from this one, I could see that they were just making some modifications to the sentence that they gave us or to the phrase they gave us, but no major changes to them. So for me, that meant we were being tested on clarity. They're moving words around, not really making major changes to the answers. So talking about clarity. So the sentence actually says, having become frustrated trying to solve difficult problems, no colleagues were nearby to share ideas. So I have to think about what I'm talking about here. First of all, this guy left his office job to work from home. The novelty of this comfortable work from home life, however, soon worn off. Within a month, I found myself. So the author's actually speaking here. The writer is the subject, right? He's talking about all the things that happened to him when he left his office job. In this particular sentence, having become frustrated trying to solve difficult problems is a participle phrase, okay? So it's acting as something called a modifier. So modifiers are words or phrases that add description, but they must come before words they logically describe. So if this is a modifier, if having become frustrated trying to solve difficult problems, I have to figure out it has to come if it's coming before what it describes. And what was becoming frustrated to solve the difficult problems? Well, the author, the I. And so I was looking for a phrase that included the I. So this one, no colleagues were nearby to share ideas. It wasn't giving me something logical that it described that phrase. So I took out no change. Both B and C did the exact same thing, and only D brought in that I. Giving me something to describe the modifier. So my answer would be D. All right, so let's move on to number 26. So number 26, I look at the answers again. I ask myself, what am I being tested on? And I can see that they're all the same, but they have different punctuation, so I'm being tested on punctuation. So remember, we have to follow rules, but we have to be very careful. All right, so the spaces are usually stocked with standard office equipment such as photocopiers, printers, and fax machines. All right, so the first thing I notice is the colon in both B and C. So a colon, you can only use a colon if it's a complete sentence before it. So the spaces are usually stocked with standard office equipment such as. So that is not a complete sentence. So I can't use the colons. Now that's tricky because colons also set off lists, but that doesn't get rid of the idea that they have to come after a complete sentence. So you got to be careful on that one. So then the question is the such as. If I put a comma here, such as has now become a non-restrictive clause. It's just a clause. And remember, non-restrictive clauses must be surrounded by commas. And if you have a question about that, take the clause out and see if it changes the meaning of the sentence. So let's test that. The spaces are usually stocked with standard office equipment, photocopiers, printers, and fax machines. So I could take such as out and it wouldn't change the meaning of the sentence. But then I would actually probably use a colon. So because that wasn't an option, it is a non-restrictive clause and it must be surrounded by commas. So my answer would have to be D. All right, guys, hopefully those two explanations were helpful. Have a great day.